US government just did something that has never happened in the history of money. They bought Bitcoin, not as an experiment, not as a small bet, as an official national reserve the same way they hold gold. And here's the crazy part. Most Americans have absolutely no idea this happened, what it means, or how it's going to affect your savings, your dollar, and your future. In the next 5 minutes, I'm going to break it all down in plain English. Stay until the end, because I'm going to tell you exactly what I'd do if I were you right now. On March 6th, 2025, President Trump signed an executive order. It's called the U.S. Strategic Bitcoin Reserve. For decades, the U.S. government held gold, actual physical gold, stored in places like Fort Knox. That gold gave the dollar its strength. Now, for the first time ever, the U.S. government is treating Bitcoin the same way. They currently hold over 200,000 Bitcoin, worth tens of billions of dollars, most of it seized from criminals. And under this new order, they cannot sell it. They must hold it forever, just like gold. The plan is to eventually own 1 million Bitcoin, about 5% of all Bitcoin that will ever exist. Now you might be thinking, okay, so the government bought some internet money. Why should I care? Here's why. Bitcoin only has 21 million coins. That's it. Forever. No government, no bank. Nobody can print more. When the most powerful country in the world decides to lock away 1 million of those coins and never sell them, basic supply and demand says the price goes up. But it's bigger than that. Think about what this signal tells the rest of the world. If the US is treating Bitcoin like digital gold, other countries, China, Europe, Russia, they're going to feel pressure to do the same. That means even more demand, even less supply. And here's the part that hits home for regular Americans. This is being done partly because the US dollar has lost 97% of its purchasing power since 1913. Your dollar buys less every year. Bitcoin is designed to do the opposite. The government is quietly hedging against the collapse of their own currency, and they're using your tax dollars to do it. Now I have to be honest with you, because not everyone thinks this is great news. Bitcoin is still extremely volatile. In early 2025 alone, it swung more than 52% up and down. Critics say putting a national reserve in something that volatile is reckless. Some economists say this is just a political move with no real economic logic. And there's a real concern. If Bitcoin crashes hard, it's US taxpayer money on the line. There are also people who say this whole strategic reserve is basically an empty label, that the law doesn't go far enough, and the government is all talk. So the honest truth, nobody knows exactly how this plays out. But what is certain is that this is the most significant earnment acknowledgement of Bitcoin we have ever seen. And that alone changes the game. So, what does this mean for you sitting at home right now? First, don't panic. Don't run out and put your life savings into Bitcoin because the government did. That's emotional investing, and it's how people lose money. Second, educate yourself. Bitcoin isn't going away. Whether you invest or not, understanding it is like understanding the internet in 1999. The people who understood it early won. Third, if you're thinking about getting exposure to Bitcoin, consider small positions. Even 1 to 5% of a portfolio is what many financial advisors call a reasonable hedge. You can even buy Bitcoin through a regular stock brokerage now, through Bitcoin ETFs. No crypto wallet needed. Fourth, watch the dollar. If inflation keeps rising and the US keeps printing money, assets like Bitcoin and gold become more attractive. Your money sitting in a savings account earning 1% is losing value every single year. Here's the bottom line. The US government just put Bitcoin on the same shelf as gold. That is a once-in-a-generation moment in financial history. You don't have to love Bitcoin. You don't have to invest a single dollar. But you absolutely need to understand what just happened and what it could mean for your money going forward. If this video helped you understand something, most people your age, most people in your family, most people at work still don't understand, hit that like button and subscribe. Because this channel exists to make sure you are never the last person to know something that could change your financial future. I'll see you in the next one.